Have you ever been triggered to buy something that you later regretted? Instant gratification involves a powerful hit of dopamine that can be hard to resist. But how do you decide whether a purchase is worth it or not? I'm Emily Bellet and I'm passionate about investing and helping women improve their financial lives. I spent the first part of my career working in private equity, and I'm now the founder of Vestpod and host of the Wallet podcast. On this channel, I document what I learned about investing and personal finance, and my primary goal is always to answer your most burning questions about money. In this video, we'll explore some strategies for making smart purchasing decisions, avoiding buyer's remorse, and how to navigate the complex world of consumerism. Let's dive in. Recognize your needs versus your wants. Let's just start with the basics. Distinguishing between needs and wants is important in making financial decisions because it helps prioritize spending and avoid overspending on things that are not essential. Needs are essential for survival and include things like food, water, home, and clothing. Wants, on the other hand, are things that we desire or wish for, but are not necessary for survival. They can be material goods, experiences, or even intangible things like status or recognition. It's about making sure we meet our needs, but also balance and find room for our wants without financial stress or overspending. The first step to a more mindful spending is knowing where your money is actually going. It sounds super obvious and basic, but setting a budget, tracking your expenses to see where you might be overspending or where you can cut back. There are many budgeting apps or tools that can help you automate this process for you if needed. Think about your goals, prioritize your spending, and align it with your values. Your values are the things you deem important in your life, like family, friendship, education, or whatever activities you feel are close to your heart. Once you have identified your values, write them down so that you can refer to them later. Then make a list of your financial goals. It's another effective way to practice delayed gratification, to set clear, measurable goals for yourself. This could include long-term goals, such as achieving a certain level of fitness, short-term goals, such as finishing a work task before taking a break. Setting goals give you a tangible end goal to work towards, which can make it easier to resist short-term temptations. Additionally, tracking your progress towards your goal can help you stay motivated and stay on track. Spending is great when it brings you joy. Don't try to keep up with others. It can quickly become quite challenging when you start to compare ourselves to others or try to keep up with the latest trend. Social media and advertising bombard us with messages that we need the latest fashion item, home decor to keep up with our peers. This can lead to a never-ending cycle of consumerism where we're always chasing the new thing without ever being satisfied. In reality, material possessions and external markers of success do not necessarily lead to happiness or fulfillment. Focus on your own priorities and values and spend money on things that truly bring you joy and improve your well-being, rather than trying to impress others or fit in with societal expectations. Identify the triggers. Try to identify the factors that trigger impulsive behavior. Triggers are the stimuli that cause us to feel the impulse to spend, such as seeing a sale or an advertisement for a product we desire. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter in the brain, plays a crucial role in this process. When we see or think about something we want, dopamine is released, creating a pleasurable sensation and motivating us to seek out that item. The anticipation of acquiring something we desire provides a hit of dopamine that can be addictive and difficult to resist. Once you identify this trigger, you can take steps to avoid or minimize them and reduce your temptation. For example, if you know that checking social media too often triggers you to want to buy something, you might try to put your phone in another room overnight or just setting a designated time for checking messages. If you tend to overspend in physical stores, try to creating a budget or sticking to a shopping list to avoid impulse purchases. Recognize retail therapy. For some people, shopping can be a form of stress relief, but it's important to recognize when this might become a problem. Avoid using shopping as a way to cope with emotions. Usually these are things like sadness, stress, or boredom. Instead, try finding ways to manage them, such as, meditation, exercising, spending time with your loved one. Therapy is also an amazing way to understand the underlying factor beneath these spending triggers. When you do need to make a purchase, be mindful of whether it aligns with your financial priorities and goals. Consider the true cost of purchases. When making a purchase, it's important to consider that it's not just the financial cost, but also the environmental and social impact. For example, buying clothes from fast fashion brand may be cheaper, but it often comes at a cost to the environment and the people making the clothes. By choosing to shop less and invest in higher quality and sustainable products, we can reduce our impact on the environment and support ethical production practices. It's also important to recognize the role of advertising and marketing in promoting consumerism and the constant need for new products. You can also consider the opportunity cost of a purchase. If you spend money on a new pair of shoes, for example, that means you won't be able to allocate that money towards paying off debt or investing it in the stock market. By being conscious of these factors and focusing on our actual needs rather than wants, we can make more intentional and responsible purchasing decisions. So I always try to invest in higher quality, sustainable items that will last longer and be better for the planet. Practice gratitude. Being grateful for what we have can help us avoid spending on unnecessary purchases. Take the time to appreciate the things you already own and be mindful of how they bring value to your life. When you do need to make a purchase, focus on how it will add value to your life rather than just satisfying a short-term desire. By practicing gratitude, we can shift our focus away from material possessions and towards more experiences, relationships that bring us true happiness. Avoid buyer's remorse. When you feel like buying something, you can take a moment to pause and reflect before making a purchase. Is this new jacket or membership really necessary, or is just a fleeting desire for instant gratification? You can also consider the long-term value of the purchase and whether it aligns with your financial goals. Researching the items, reading reviews, and comparing prices can also help you make a more informed decision. By taking these steps and being more mindful of your spending habits, you can reduce the chances of experiencing buyer's remorse and feel more confident in your purchases. Have a support system. Having a support system, whether it be friends, family, or therapist, can also help you practice delayed gratification. A strong support system can offer encouragement and motivation when you're feeling challenged and can help you stay on track towards goals. Accountability partners can be particularly helpful in resisting temptation. This could be a friend who checks in with you regularly to see how you're progressing towards your goals, or a coworker who helps you stay on task when you feel the urge to procrastinate. Finally, we created this quick checklist for you to check in and see if you can buy something or not. Can I afford it? Have I saved for it? Is it a need or want? What am I willing to give up to pay for this? Will I use this item regularly? If I don't like the item anymore, what's the resale value down the line? Is it sustainable? In line with my values? Can I borrow or buy a used version instead? If you answer no to at least 2 of these, don't buy it. What really changed my mindset was that when you buy something, you become responsible for it. This means that you should take care of it and use it responsibly. You should also consider the impact of your purchase on the environment and society as a whole. Every item you purchase has a cost beyond the price tag, including the resources used to produce it, the waste generated during its manufacture, and the disposal and the social and environmental impact of its production. With the rise of consumerism, it's important to think critically about our consumption habits and how they affect the world around us. By being mindful with our purchases and investing in quality, ethical, produced items, we can reduce our impact on the planet and support a more sustainable future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly money and investing tips. Ask your questions below, and see you next week.